I wanted to wait to make this video until iOS 17 was fully publicly available, out of beta so you could actually download it. And now that you can, I have some thoughts. If you haven't seen one of these before, this is not a review. This is just me talking to you about iOS 17. So don't expect any of the typical YouTube shenanigans like every hidden feature you could possibly find right in one video. I'm not doing that. We are going to talk about some of the features that sort of stand out to me, but more importantly, we're going to talk about how this update feels. Let's start with contact posters because they're just kind of awesome. Giving users such a clean, super cool, super customizable way to control how you yourself are displayed on other people's phones is such a highlight for me. It also makes my life easier because now I don't have to go through all of my contacts, all of my friends and family and customize the pictures that are showing up. I can. Well, I don't wanna. They do that for me now because Apple is fun now, memojis and stuff. We'll get to that. Standby is probably the most mid feature for me this year. How often are we doing that? How often you setting your phone down, let alone setting it down, but also setting it down on a cute little dock? We already have Apple Watches and a million other things that also do the same thing that Standby is trying to accomplish. And I don't know, I'm just not that interested in hubs. Maybe you are, but I'm not. Might be a feature that Apple's just gonna build on in the future and maybe eventually it'll be cool. More than likely though, I think this is them putting out some feelers. I think this is them testing for the future HomePod that is going to ship with a screen. Then it makes sense. Live voicemail is cool and convenient and that's it. However, being able to leave video messages when someone misses your FaceTime call, that is actually super cool, super useful. I love it. My usual MO, if someone misses my call because I have no friends, is I call them, they don't answer, it says this person is unavailable, but my face is still showing in the FaceTime app in the call. And so I just take a screenshot of my stupid face still on that call without them, and then I send them that screenshot to let them know that a call occurred. But this is so much better. Please hold. Hey, bitch, why didn't you answer the call? All right, getting into a bit of a mess here. Let's talk about iMessage. There's a bunch of stuff with this. So many things are smoother, more fluid, just overall better. In particular, the improved search functionality in iMessage, just way better. And the automatic deletion of verification codes is just chef's kiss. The way iOS handled verification codes already was incredible. Now it's even better, borderline perfect. Now, okay, we gotta talk about stickers. Yeah, I get it. I know this is Apple just being fun again, like I mentioned earlier, and I like fun Apple. Fun Apple is fun. But stickers, how do I say this? I think they ruined my life. Listen, this is probably strictly a me thing, and if you like stickers, I love that for you, but this, to me, is the worst. Brian should not be allowed to put stickers all over our conversation and ruin it for. He should not be able to just put whatever on my screen. I hate this, and I hate me. It's just so messy and ugly to me. You guys might love it, but for me, it just makes me want to keep one of these nearby. In iMessage, when you open up the new more dialogue screen and you scroll up, there's a new feature called Check-in, and Check-in is a game changer, natively allowing you to inform your friends or family when you safely arrive at a destination. Bruh. We all have that one friend that we tell, hey, can you just send me a text when you get home safe just so I know you made it? And 99% of the time that text never shows up and you just assume they died. They didn't die, they forgot. They always forget. And this is one of those things that just makes life so much, they don't have to remember now. iOS will just do it for you. It will know when you got home, it will inform them, done deal. That's it. This is the stuff that I love. Things like check-in, features like personal voice, they do a lot to connect us with the tech. This is Apple doing that classic Apple thing again, where they're making stuff for humans to do human stuff with. All right, and my next favorite feature is today's sponsor. I'm sorry. You know what they say, knowledge is power, but power is also power. That's why today's episode is sponsored by our good friends over at Basis. Basis provides all of the tech accessories your little tech heart desires, like this super awesome 65-watt USB-C power bank with a 20,000 milliamp hour battery inside. You could charge your house with this thing. Okay, not really, but you can charge your iPhone and your MacBook really fast. In fact, this bad boy can charge up to 3 devices at the same time. On the top, you'll find USB-C in and out, 2 USB-A out only ports, and a USB micro in port. It's super premium with an outer metal casing for dispersing heat efficiently, and has this super cool digital display showing you just how much juice you have left, current voltages, and charging current. I love this thing, and I've started to take it pretty much everywhere with me. And I can do that because it's 20% thinner than the typical 20,000 milliamp hour battery banks, especially for when I'm traveling. Like, when I travel with this thing, I feel pretty much invincible. While everyone else is plugging into a wall, I got power for so long. Right now, with the link in the description and using code TECH20, you can get this guy for just $47.99. Make sure to head over to the Basis website and take a look around. From power banks to earbuds to lights and car accessories, cables, and hubs, Basis has pretty much everything that we nerds are constantly after. And of course, a huge thanks to Basis for sponsoring today's episode of Fapata. Alright, speaking of personal voice, it's here. It's in iOS 17 and it's great. Yes, you'll probably see TikTokers using this as a bit of a party trick, being like, hey guys, look, you can clone your voice and make it say funny things. But no, it is so much deeper than that. Again, we made a whole video discussing literally just this and how and why it's going to change so many lives for the better. I will leave a link to that video down in the description below, but do not watch that until after this video is over or I will never forgive you. Oh, almost forgot. Super important. Siri is still just straight butt cheeks, dude. Just god awful. These are most, if not all, of the features that personally stand out to me about iOS 17. Is this all of the features? No, absolutely not. There are so many videos out there already right now that will painstakingly walk you through every hidden feature you could possibly want to find, but to most iPhone users, to most iOS users, that's not how it works. It's less about what the features are, what the features do, and more about how it feels. How the feature feels to do the thing it claims to do. Yep, here we go. Here goes John explaining how regular humans work to an audience of nerds. Listen, I know so many of you go out of your way to download new iOS versions on day one. And by day one, I mean like beta day one. But in reality, there are a lot of people that actively avoid updating to a new version of iOS. Why? Well, I think change can be intimidating to a lot of people, especially too much change too fast. If they don't have time to deal with this stuff, they just kind of won't, because what if something goes wrong? If something goes wrong, they don't have time to tinker with that right now, so they just sort of put it off until they can't put it off anymore. With us, we like the tinkering. Well, I don't, but a lot of you do. You actually like taking your time going through every nook and cranny of a new iOS version to learn absolutely every single thing you can, take full advantage of everything Apple is giving you in the new software. You love to customize. I don't very much. Guys, this is my home screen. Like, literally, this is it. It's this simple. I have no other pages. I don't even use widgets. I just have what I need and nothing else is in my way. I love tech. I'm surrounded by this stuff all the time. But for me personally, and you can judge me if you want, when it comes down to my phone, I just want my phone to do phone stuff. I want it to work well and be predictable. That's kind of all I want. Let me let you in on a bit of a secret here. Every year, Apple has to be extremely, extremely careful. They have to find almost the perfect balance between feeling new, but not feeling too different. I know, feeling new with new capabilities while not feeling different. Sounds hard, right? Especially if you're coming from iPhone to iPhone, iOS to iOS. You have expectations as a regular user. Apple cannot break those expectations without meeting some level of frustration. So they have to put it somewhere in between the same thing as last year and the same thing as last year and some other stuff. I'm not done yet, but I will say real quick that overall, iOS 17 feels fluid. The changes that Apple made this year with it feel necessary. It makes sense to me. This feels like a natural progression, a natural evolution of the software. Some great quality of life changes have been made this year, and this is a great version of iOS for 99% of people always everywhere. I am not, by the way, absolutely not saying that iOS 17 is a perfect update. I'm not saying that there are no bugs that I've found in iOS 17, because I have. But I am saying that iOS 17 doesn't feel buggier than, say, last year's. Apple's quality control on software has really slipped in the past 5 or 10 years, and I absolutely hate that. Made a video about that too. But what can you do? They aren't listening. Bottom line, iOS 17 doesn't break anything. It feels fluid, it feels capable, it feels cohesive. And at the end of the day, that's a win. The people that avoid updating, they avoid it because they don't want to have to deal with the change. They don't want to have to relearn anything. They don't want to have to set a few hours aside or a day aside to tinker with their phone, get it back in working order before they can go back to live their life the way they normally would without having to worry about new software changes and all that stuff. I don't make up the rules, dude. That's just how the market works. So if you're one of those people, if you avoid updates, stop. Go ahead, hit that update button. It's worth it. It's just new enough, offering you new capabilities that you're gonna love, while also not being too different. Yeah, some things here and there in the software are moved around a little bit, but overall, nothing to relearn. iOS 17, pretty great.